the fascinating and ever-changing world of agriculture. Let's hit the road here in Georgia and meet the farmers, producers, makers, and bakers who keep us all fed and keep us coming back for more. Straight ahead at the Fork in the Road.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand.
Georgia farmers, artisans, merchants, and producers, we depend on these men and women every day of our lives through the choices we make and the food we consume. Their strategy and approach is always shifting, but the end game remains the same: results. Building a business is rarely easy, incredibly unpredictable, but when there's passion, drive, and strong support from friends, family, and community, the end result is often success. Let's explore two Georgia-grown businesses that have done just that, one with sugar and one with spice. Let's begin in Pooler, Georgia, just west of Savannah, where a creative and driven couple have brought tasty flavors of the world to a small corner of Georgia. These stores are an homage to flavor. When you walk in the door, the scent is hard to define. Be it rosemary, garlic, or a beautiful mix of 1,000 other possibilities found from all around the globe, the good news is that whatever you are smelling or craving, these two dreamers and their dedicated helpers will point you in the right direction. Be it sugar, salt, spices, teas, dips, or even gorgeous artwork, it's all here at the Salt Table.
Salt is really just about flavor. So we've brought in salts from all over the world. We have infused salts, smoked salts. So that's kind of where we started when we thought about having a salt store. Just, how do we make people enjoy what they're doing and what they're cooking just a little bit better?
And she does a great job with the seasoning blends, mixing salts, the perfect salts with the right combination of seasoning blends for just about any type of cooking opportunity, for flavoring everything from seafood to steaks and veggies and casseroles. She comes up with something really great.
I tried to, and one of the first things that we did when we went on our journey for salt was we created what's become our signature and flagship product called All Round Good Grinder Blend, because it's all round good, because you're in the South, you gotta talk Southern. We use the base as the Himalayan pink salt, which we think is a great salt for a lot of different reasons, including the fact that it's got 84 trace minerals. So it's just literally good on everything.
The way this started is Carol made this as a Christmas present about 2009. And I'm a graphics and marketing guy, so I couldn't let her come up with a great seasoning blend without a great label. So these were intended as gifts for a friend. So I came up with this name, the Salt Table, which didn't exist, wasn't a company. And this picture of us goes back to that period in time. We're wearing sunglasses. It was meant to be funny. But it's stuck, and it's the same logo ever since.
So it's kind of like the Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak of salt.
Yeah,
Salt.
And we created it in our garage, right?
We did. You gotta have salt. You can't live without salt. So why not have good salt?
Yeah, salt gets a bad rap because people oversalt their things and you don't need to. A little goes a long way, and particularly with seasoning salts because they can add a lot to your good cooking, and that's what we're all about. A lot of folks, they have chicken all the time and it always tastes the same. Well, with our products, you could have 30 different flavors of chicken.
And people just love us. They just love what we do, and they love how their cooking comes out once they put our products on their foods. Not only do we make our own products in-house and we have our own brand, but we support other brands as well, and we think that's very important for the travelers, tourists, and even our locals that want to just shop local.
Hundreds of different products and blends are sold at stores all over the country and is a favorite with chefs. But if you are visiting the Georgia coast, your best option is to stop by one of their 4 stores, each with its own original style. One is at the Savannah Airport.
We have visitors from all over the world visit our airport, our city, and our shop. And in it, we sell a lot of great products, Georgia grown, and many of our salt table products.
Where you can also add on a bottle of regionally produced spirits.
People really like to bring home spirits for a souvenir or as a gift for a friend. And so we have many from both South Carolina and Georgia. Some of our better selling products in our store are the Savannah Bourbon, and people like this bourbon a lot, and it won a major award.
There's the beachside shop down south on Jekyll Island. The shop and production facility in nearby Pooler, Georgia, which we'll visit later in this story. And the downtown Savannah shop, where I got to learn about a few of their store items in addition to the salts and spices.
We liked Savannah, we lived in Savannah.
We met in Savannah, and so we looked around. We literally pounded the streets and came up with a concept, put together a business plan, and here we are.
We've been written up in a lot of magazines, and a lot of that has been based on our love of travel. And so we've incorporated our love of travel with our product line. So we pick places to go, like in the Caribbean or in Thailand or in Germany.
Salt is an adventure, it really is. And when you really get out there and you start looking for salt, you find it in unusual places. Utah, here in the United States, the big salt flats, and people don't even think about how old salt can really be.
What makes this really unique is this is 200 million years old, and people come into the store and they'll say, well, how long will the salt last? And I said, well, considering it's 200 million years old, I think you're safe.
But another funny story is about the island of Tybee.
Yes, actually, the Indian or the indigenous people of the island named it Tybee, and Tybee means salt or place of salt.
In Yamakra.
And Carol actually made a blend that honors that whole tradition of seafood and salt.
Salts from
and
Tybee Island.
We call it our Tybee Island Coastal Blend, and it's our #2 bestseller.
It's our #2, and it did win the Flavor of Georgia contest.
Just give you a little quick tour. We have honey from Savannah, and we have a lot of sauces and jellies and jams and barbecue sauces, pickles, jellies, cheese straws, you name it. And we just really enjoy our Georgia-grown products.
Tommy Williams from Lyons, Georgia. This is extra virgin olive oil from his own grove of olive trees. The way I tell people, this is a premium product, so this is what you're using when you really want that wonderful, fresh olive oil taste in your foods.
Honey on the Hill, Dale and Anna Fisher are good friends, and these folks came to us. We were one of the first or maybe second retail stores that sold their products. They have expanded greatly since then over the years. They now have 4 stores of their own, and they're just going gangbusters. So we've been very proud to have an opportunity to have their products in our stores.
You also get to capture the artistic essence of Savannah through the art. Or are those photos on the wall?
We feature our local photographers, and we're really proud to do that. He's a local Savannian and married a beautiful Puerto Rican, and together they turn their passion of photography into beautiful pieces of art.
It's beautiful. If you look at it, they actually look like paintings, but it's actual unretouched photographs. They don't use Photoshop, and they're proud to say that. They're just spectacular. And if you look at all these pictures, you notice one thing in common, which is unbelievable in Savannah, is that there are no people in the pictures.
They get up way earlier than I do.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
After exploring the Savannah store, Dave and Carol took me to Pooler to see where the spice magic happens. Nothing mechanized in the blending, it's all by hand, and a feast for the senses, especially the nose.
This is the good stuff. This is our #1 blend. This is our all-around good grinder blend. We put all of our ingredients right here in this bowl. The Himalayan salt, the peppercorns, onions, and garlic. We hand blend it, and then we start putting it in our bottles. We then put with labels on, and then it's ready to ship out the door all around the country, all around the world. We don't use any machinery, and we think that by hand blending and packaging, we kind of put a little personal touch into it. This is the way we've done it from the very beginning. This is our table here where we put our finished goods. So we've got things that we put into bags. This is our taffy. And then we have things that we put into bottles. These are some smoked peppercorns. This is our all-round good grinder blend. Look how beautiful it is. So we're going to be labeling those, and then we'll put them on the shelves. And we have everything from bay seasoning. We call this is a really nice spicy thing that we call Peppy, a southern blend that's great for putting on fried chicken or French fries. We have our live oak lime and pepper, which we developed using our own infused lime salt. People love it on their chicken, they love it on fish. And then we also bag, pecans, because we are in Georgia. We do a lot with pecans and we do a lot with peanuts.
So one of the more fun things we do is we have a product called the Himalayan Salt Block, and it's a solid piece of Himalayan salt. People use this as a cutting board and as a cooking stone.
So the flavor from the Himalayan salt can go into the food.
Yes, so that salt is transferred into the food while you're using it as a cutting board. As a cooking stone, it can be used in the oven. It can be used on a gas stove, or most people use it on a gas grill or charcoal grill.
And you crush this big block up.
Yeah.
And it's the same as what you got in the bottle
Yeah,
there.
this is the Himalayan salt, and this is one of our products. It's actually our most popular salt, so it's awesome.
So spice up your life and maybe get something sweet on top. Either way, it's fun to just explore the store. But you'll most likely find yourself taking home a chip of salt off the old block, and maybe the entire block itself. Either way, you'll be glad you did. From a world of salt to the land of sugar, let's make our way up to Richland, where one couple has put this small town in the national spotlight with award-winning rum. Richland's water tower lends a hint to what the talk of the town is around these parts. An unexpected destination for a business like this, led by a couple who didn't come from this side of the tracks, or the other side for that matter. But where they came from and why is just a side note to the award-winning final product that slowly trickles from this gorgeous old still.
Born in Indonesia and raised in Holland.
Born in Holland, raised in Holland. We met in the United States of America, in Atlanta, 30 years ago, and that's where the story begins.
While living in Atlanta, we developed on one hand a desire to own some land. And over the years, in the 90s, started to look around Atlanta. While doing that, started to develop a certain attraction for this area here. We liked it. Then one day, driving around, we saw a fellow selling sugarcane syrup here near Albany along the road. So we pulled a Huey and went to him and asked, "Where do you get your sugarcane?" All he did was say, "Duh," and pointed behind him. There was a sugarcane patch right behind him. So, long story to say, that is when we discovered that this climate will allow you to grow sugarcane here. That's what brought it all together, because there had been an old, long, lingering dream to own some land, grow some sugarcane for the purpose of making rum.
Most rum is made from molasses, the residue remaining after sugar has been crystallized from sugarcane juice. That's an easier and more cost-effective method, but Richland believes the way they do it is the purest, the finest, and the best tasting.
My grandfather, he was somewhat of an authority on rum. He used to tell me a lot about rum, sort of telling me rum is distilled waste. Unless you have a rum made directly from fresh sugarcane juice. That has left me always with the idea that if there would ever be an opportunity to own some land, grow sugarcane, I would make rum. Started the distillery on our farm, which is about 7 miles south of here, near Weston, in '99. And it was the mayor of Richland who came to the farm and said, "Why are you doing this at the farm? You should be downtown Richland." And we said, "Well, with all due respect, Mr. Mayor, there's nothing there." And he said, "Exactly. That's why I want you there." And, reflecting on that over the years, we thought, he's right. If we don't do it, who else will? And this is the old Richland Inn, built in 1895 as a hotel for the well-heeled who were traveling from north to go to Florida or southern Georgia. We love this building. It's become very important. We are the fortunate owners of 7 adjacent buildings, which we have restored over time.
So tell me where we are now.
So here we are in one of 3 barrel rooms in Richland, Georgia. There's another facility in Brunswick, Georgia, where we have a distillery and a barrel house as well. There are numerous barrels here dating back to 2010.
And these are what Eric was talking about. These were all separate businesses back in the day.
Those were all these buildings, one by one. We restored them, we connected them. We are now in the old jewelry store that was operating here. There was a pharmacy here at one point. There was a pool table in the far building, a hardware store, and we find remnants constantly of previous buildings. I would like to show you the safe that we found when we restored this building. Mr. Morgan's jewelry store was here in Richland.
Wow. You didn't want to move that.
We couldn't if we wanted it. If you look to your left, there is an old piano from the pool room, billiard room, yeah. This was a pharmacy at one point, the old horse cart. Before that, it must have been a bank. There's a beautiful big safe in the back. Forbes magazine named us Best American Rum in 2018, and we're extremely proud. President Carter, he took an enormous interest in our rum. We decided to donate a barrel of rum to the Carter Center, which is now bottle for bottle auctioned off during fundraising events all over the world.
President Carter helped distill the barrel.
He did, and he helped bottle the barrel.
Yeah. We've been blessed to see him here quite often, taking pride in the economic initiative in helping a rural town. We've seen bottles now from that barrel auctioned off for more than $20,000 each, which go dollar for dollar to the Carter Center. The support of the community has been very, very impressive and warm and welcoming always. Proud of their distillery and their town. That's humbling.
And the team that we work with here, they're super dedicated. We regard them as family. TJ is our distiller, and TJ is also our neighbor. What does our distiller do in his spare time? He's distilling at home. Rick is, as we say, the front of the house manager, so he manages tours, tastings, and helps with production when needed. We all pitch in wherever it's needed. We're a small business, so we wear many hats.
So every bottle you see has single estate. That's what that means. It has one main ingredient located in one plot of land. This right here has been growing since about February, March. It's about 9 months of growth, like a baby. October, November is the harvest time.
And this is just a little sample of what you have.
Yes, just a little sample right here, yes. It takes more of cane than this to make even 1 bottle of rum or 1 bottle of syrup. So at the farm, we're gonna cut, grind the stalk, and produce the juice. And we cook that juice down to syrup. Over here is our second ingredient in our rum. Believe it or not, coming from here, that's water. This water is coming from the Blue Ridge Mountains. This is about a 500-mile trip for that water. This well is about 180 feet deep. All pipes from that well will lead right in here. We're going into the fermentation room again. It's the present fermentation. It takes about anywhere from 7 to 10 days for fermentation to be complete. And this is some of it right now. So this right here is 43 gallons of syrup, as you see right here. The fermentation is still going on, little bubbles. What you see going on is CO2 being created. And what I'm looking for is about 10 to 13% alcohol contained in that wine. It's active. Probably has about maybe 24 hours left in that fermentation. But over here is a complete fermentation. No bubbles are involved. So this right here is ready to go into the pot. Doesn't taste bad. It tastes like almost like a dry wine. But again, that is ready to go.
The alcohol content in there is not
It's not as strong. Nope. We haven't cooked it out. It's a lot of water remaining in that product right now. So from there, it will go into here. We're making it the old-fashioned way.
It's not just the old-fashioned way, it's the best way.
We're the best way, exactly. We call it the artisan style, the old-fashioned way. So what we're doing is trying to get the best part of that wine into the barrel. But it's actually making rum right now as we speak. We try to do it slow as possible. We want to get the best part of the rum while we're leaving everything else behind. And we do that by controlling the temperature. Take a look at it right now. It is in the best spot right now. It's 120 proof.
There aren't a bunch of these going. This is it.
This is it, this is it. Right now, with everything going on, it takes me about 2 weeks to produce 1 barrel. As you see, we only make 1 rum here. Everything comes out clear as water. In time, an American white oak barrel, 4 or 5 years, more color, more flavor, more texture.
We like to say that the barrel decides when the rum is ready, which is typically 6 years. Sometimes we have a beautiful barrel and it's ready at 5 years old. Some barrels take much longer, and right now we have bottled a number of barrels that are 9 and 10 years old.
This is it right here. This is the classic. We call it the classic Richland rum. Over here, this is the cask exchange. And what we do with this one, it was 3-year rum in the barrel, 1 year with the port wine from Chateau Alon. They'll bottle that product, the barrel will come back to us, we'll put that 3-year rum back in that barrel. Port wine is red, it has some red notes in it also. I would say it's more like a brandy or a cognac, but it's 100% rum, don't forget that.
And everyone has different palates, right?
Oh yes indeed.
This is your palate.
This is my favorite right here, cask strength, meaning right from the barrel until the bottle, uncut, no water added. But again, remember, that is the best rum in America, made right here in Richland, Georgia.
So after the tour, naturally, it was time to taste. And here in Richland, in this historic building, with years of knowledge flanking me on both sides, this was a memorable experience. And that's the good part. Good. This is what y'all do.
Yes.
Y'all let people come in and enjoy the experience, and you get a little education on how it's all done. What do people experience when they come in here?
Not biased, but basically the best rum in America, so that's what I would like to say.
That's what I'm learning.
I think we can find something that everybody enjoys here, no matter what spirit you drink regularly. In the tasting, we definitely find something for everybody.
I think it's neat because you have one product, but so many different expressions.
Yes.
Okay, where do you usually start people?
Me, I start with the original right here, which is the old Georgia.
Okay.
Of course, that's what we've been making for almost 23 years. Now, bourbon guys, you know, we got a lot of bourbon drinkers in America, so that is the bourbon conversion right here.
That's what I keep hearing, bourbon
sir.
conversion.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's fantastic. And then you get flavor afterwards, not alcohol.
Definitely.
That's hard to do, right?
Not a lot of bite for being, 86 proof.
Got a credit.
Very smooth.
Got to credit TJ for that too.
Yes.
Yeah, though, that is awesome.
Okay, so we're gonna move into the barrel exchanges. This one right here shared that barrel with the tiramisu flavored milk stout, terrapin.
This is the one with terrapin. All right. I was looking forward to this one. Karen talked about this one. She was excited.
Yes, that one is mine and Rick's favorite. You're gonna get like a maple chocolate coffee note on the back end, definitely on the finish.
Oh. No, I like the first. Oh man, it hits.
Yes.
It hits.
Yes.
Oh, I love that tiramisu. Karen, you're right about that. Yeah. Oh wow. Do people have the same expression I have?
Yes.
It's like nothing I've had before.
It's a hug on the inside.
Yeah. Okay, almost done.
Since we've been here so long, have become a destination, a purposeful destination of people who travel not only here from Georgia, but from all over the country and increasingly from different places in the world. We're still humbled by it to greet visitors lately from Israel and from Latin America who come here and say, well, we're here to visit you. And we're kind of in awe, but it is a special place.
So from the salts and spices of the world brought to salt table stores all along Georgia's coastline, to a sweet and natural rum with an international reputation of excellence, the sugar and spice and these two couples that make them so nice are true Georgia treasures. I'm David Zelski. See you at the next Fork in the Road.